Well, hello there, and this is Auntie. And if you are here to hear a review of 1000 Pound Sister Season 7, Episode 2 and 3, get ready. Let's get into it. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my nieces and nephews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Advice. It's time for Auntie Advice. It's time for Auntie Well, welcome back, everybody. Y'all, these episodes are a hot mess express. I will be talking about these sisters and this family child, and in no particular order. We just going to do it the way that we do it. Downtown to Auntie's advice. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining his family, and to all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Y'all, let's get into it. So, in 1000 Pound Sisters, Season 7, Episode 2, we got an opportunity to meet. Why am I laughing? We got an opportunity to meet this mystery woman that Tammy was dating. Miss Andrea. And honey, when I say that I was shocked, that is an understatement. I don't know why I thought Tammy was going to have somebody who looked different. But honey, I'm trying to tell you. When I saw her, I was like, girl, I probably will hide her too. Now, Tammy's reason, Andrea, is because she says that her family has a problem with, homosexuality and stuff like that. And they kind of wishy-washy back and forth. I'm sorry, y'all. They kind of wishy-washy back and forth, about what they want to be angry about and all of that kind of stuff, right? So we see them, and her and the girlfriend are talking, and the girlfriend asked her to buy something for her, and I just was like, Now, I wasn't really listening as thoroughly as I should have. Y'all let me know downtown in the chat what it was that her and Tammy was talking about, and the girlfriend was like, okay, if you buy, will you buy me or whatever, right? So anyway, I just was like, okay. So after, we met her, she was saying that she really wanted to meet Tammy's family. And for me, that raised the red flag, because I'm like, why do you want to meet Tammy's family? Chill out, move at her pace. Okay. We saw Tammy hook up with one of her schoolmates and stuff like that. And then, we go down to eight. So Chris ends up showing his body and all that kind of stuff. And Chris ends up having a conversation with his wife, Brittany. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing, honey. This shocked me, the fact that Chris, um, wife wasn't the kids' moms. Now, probably some of y'all knew that because you may study the family more than I do. But honey, I'm gonna tell you, I did not know that those were not Brittany's kids. Brittany is saying that, she's diabetic and she's been struggling with her weight. And she, believes that the reason why she wasn't able, or one of the reasons why she wasn't able to have a baby, is because of her weight and her diabetes. And so now here we are, spinning a block, and now she's going to get the damn surgery. So Chris, was showing his body and stuff, and I don't know why he's so comfortable with that, but okay. So Chris was basically showing his body and showing, the reduction. I don't really see it. I'm sure y'all probably see it, but I don't really see it, right? So I'm just like, oh, okay, it is what it is until it's not what it's not. But Chris was saying that he would do whatever he needed to do in order for Brittany to be able to have a baby. Downtown at Amy's ranch, we see that her sister is living with her, and she got her boys there. Now, as we remember, Tammy too had a problem with Amanda and her boys. Now, Amy for about 2 months, and she is taking over her house. And she said that she is biting her tongue in the house because she don't give a fuck who house it is. As long as she living there, her boy's gonna be living there. I'm sorry, what? The arrogance, the audacity, the entitlement that Amanda thinks she has. First of all, when Amanda left, Amanda said she won't coming back. She was talking big about the move to Florida to be on the beach and be with this guy. That didn't work out. Now she's back. I thought that, let me move closer. I was under the impression when you move in somebody's house, you move in their house humbly. You don't come up in their house showing your butt and telling somebody what to do. But Amy is miserable. Now, Amanda has the audacity to say that I'm basically helping her with her boys. Well, look like she got this new guy, Brian, who's appears to be at this point doing a pretty good job of helping Amy with her kids. Amy said that her and the guy are not separated. And when I have seen Brian, right up until episode 3, he has seemed like a really stand-up type of guy. And I may not want to admit that. I may not want to say that. But Amanda is the problem. Never thought that there would come a day when I would say that Amanda is the problem. Amanda is absolutely the problem because you pick up, you pack up, you was with your husband, you weren't with your husband, you was moving in this house, you let Tammy move in the house, and then you going to come up in somebody else's house, right, and treat them poorly in their own house with your big ass boys and then the friends. So Amy is having a conversation in the car with Tammy because they went to go and do some Ricky or Rickney or Ricky Yakne or some Namaste bitch. And they having a conversation about it, and Amy is crying. And basically now we got Tammy being a role model, okay, or being a comforter, a counselor, if you will, for fucking Amy because Amanda's in her house with all of her kids. And Amy is saying, let me tell you something. A clock is right 2 times a day, right? Amy and Tammy are saying the same thing. Food don't stay in the house. You bring stuff in. So what are they contributing to the house? What is Amanda and her boys contributing to the house? These some big ass boys. And then they're bringing their friends on top of that. The audacity of Amanda. So Amy goes out on a date with her boyfriend Brian, and he brings up the idea of Amy moving in. So now Amy, who's in her own house, can't be queen of her own fucking castle because Amanda thinks she is, and that she has the right to be, and that she has the right to bring her sons and talk about she trying to watch her words with Amy, bitch, you need to watch your words and the people that cross this threshold. You're staying here, not your boys. So when Amanda went to Florida, where was her boys? Where was her boys? And why doesn't her boys have a stable place for themselves to stay in? Because when Tammy was using the house, the boys were staying down Tammy's house, drinking and smoking and so they go to the little namaste joint, because Tammy is having issues with, going from Caleb passing and everything, and being in this relationship with, Andrea, struggling in her own mind, okay, about the fact that the girl is gay, and Tammy is gay, right? Tammy said that she's pansexual, which means she can fall in love with anything. Okay, so after we see all of this rickety crickety bull crap, right? After we see this rickety crickety bull crap, Amy gets on the table first. Why they gotta do stuff as groups, I don't understand. I think this is a lot produced. But anyway, so Amy gets on the table and falls asleep instantly. She didn't go through the experience at all. But Tammy has, a goal, and that is to free her mind so that she can move forward and all of that kind of stuff, right? So then, Tammy's on the table, and the ladies like breathe and all that kind of stuff, right? And we see Tammy have an emotional moment, as she was going through the process, and the lady was like, just let go, just go head on and let go, and, let the tears fall. So, this really helped Tammy with her stuff. So when we go into episode 3, Chewy Carmi, okay, Chewy Carmi, Tammy is saying that the girls are going out for a sister's outing, and she thinks she's ready to tell them about Andrea. She's ready to just go head on and do. But she still has these apprehensions about how her family is going to take it. So all of the girls are going down to another green, brownish, tannish river. Let me tell you something, bitch. If it ain't sparkly blue and look like it's new, I ain't getting in it. I ain't getting in nobody's water that look like it is filled with algae, alligators, bitch, crocodiles, sharks. Unless I think that thing is filled with some damn, unless I think it's filled with dolphins and whales and maybe some shells and snails, and it's blue like the lagoon, we ain't got that to do. They was up in that month. Okay, yes. Hey, Charlotte, baby. Hey, Bookie. Charlotte said it has to be blue. But they down there. Tammy is like, I'm going to go head on and get up in this joint. And, I'm a little apprehensive, but I'm going to let, all of my fear go away. So, they sitting there, they chilling and all of that kind of stuff, right? And then they go down and Tammy walks out. She's a little unstable, right? Because she ain't had no sand on our bitch. I don't know if it was sand or if it was dirt. But anyway, she ain't had certain sand or dirt up underneath her feet in a long time because she was so fat she couldn't do this. Okay. So when Tammy went out there, my heart was made happy because as much as I drag Tammy for the bull crap that she do, I celebrate Tammy for her successes. And Tammy went out there in that water and had a motherfucking ball. She, you know how you have those little flotation devices, the little tubes. She put the tube over her head and it fit over her body and she was on it. She ended up going out on a little blow up raft with Amy and everything, and they was having a great time. And as they said, why how is this going to be Sister's Day when Amanda got her boys? Now I understand that one of her sons is gay. But if this is Sister's Day, the fuck is he here for? He's not a sister. This stuff right here, they gonna have to deal with this. I'm telling you, they gonna have to deal with this because this is completely and totally out of hand. That's just my opinion about the bull. Okay, so they get out and they all sitting and chilling, and Tammy tells them that she's dating Andrea. The only person I knew about it prior to was Amy, and Amy was cool with it. And the two sisters, Misty and Amanda, was like, I don't give a fuck. Misty said, I'm surprised that I was surprised when you dated and married a man. She said, this ain't nothing. Girl. Amanda was like, my son is gay. Why would I have a problem with you dating a woman when my son's gay? This was some daggone produced bullshit that Tammy thought up in her own mind to make it appear. And see, and that's the thing about it. These are her siblings, right? And she could have had people dragging them, making negative comments underneath their posts, with this bull crap that she perpetrated, this lie. Let's just call it what it is. It was a whole ass lie. They could have really got some negative backlash over the bull lie she told. And for what? They was like, long as the person is good to you, we don't give a damn. Now, unless you come from a really, really strict religion or you just, have never encountered someone, you don't understand that people are people regardless of your sexuality. Your sexuality and who you choose to love, in my humble opinion, doesn't does not affect how I see you as a person. I don't care who you sleep with. As long as you don't give a damn about who I sleep with. I like that doesn't make a person who they are as it relates to me dealing with you and you dealing with me and me loving you and you loving me and me liking you and you liking me. Who gives a damn? At the end of the day, you can have a perception of a person, but it ain't until they reveal or it gets revealed or who they are. I think that Tammy is confused. I think that she shouldn't have gotten this relationship, but she did. And so, you know what? Okay. So, basically they leave there. Amy has a date with her boyfriend. She's been talking about this guy. She has a conversation with Chris and them, and she tells Chris and them that, basically, the guy want her to move in. And Chris is like, this is the dumbest thing you ever did. But see, Chris, dig deeper. Dig deeper. Because when asked, he don't want Amanda in his fucking house. And they all know how Amanda is. Dig deeper, have a little bit more sympathy, a little bit more empathy about this. Because if I was Amy and I saw a way of escape, right, wrong, or indifferent, 6 weeks or 2 weeks, bitch. If I was in a house where I'm miserable in my own house, I absolutely would probably consider moving with someone else. And that's exactly what the fuck Amy did with this guy, Brian. Brian was, him and Amy was talking about. Now, Amy has been talking about all of the things that this guy does for her kids. And y'all know what, y'all may not agree with me. It's all right. We can say what we want to say. We can do what we want to do. We can speak what we want to speak, whatever. But the guy really is making Amy more active, getting her out the house, investing in her children. And while I did not allow that kind of stuff to happen, right, as I was raising my daughter, it appears that this guy has a good relationship with Amy and is bringing more to their house than I'm in the back there playing in the raggedy ass backyard. Now Amy is saying that this guy's got all this property and stuff like that. She going and they got a baby proof the house. She gonna fuck his stuff up because Amy house looks like a junkyard. It looks like a junkyard. Now, has she fully vetted this guy? No. And y'all know how I feel about the kids. I ain't gonna run down into that conversation. Y'all know how I feel about the kids. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I just could not have them around my kids like that. Like y'all, no, fuck what you heard. Like dead ass. That's just me. But this guy for Amy, I can see why Amy is smitten with him, because he's doing more with her boys than their own dad. And he's bringing life to her. So they decide to drive down to Tennessee to go to a zoo. Because, evidently this guy is, she said he's a news reporter. So I guess he's well versed on, different places to go and stuff like that, more connected and not living in a backwoods bitch of Kentucky to Amy. So he's broadening Amy's view. I know y'all probably like, Auntie, no, you're not. But I mean, I saw the benefit, right? I don't know if they still together. So the two of them, are taking the kids. They have taken the kids everywhere. She's played pool with him. She's just more active, right? And so anyway, she goes down to they drive down to Tennessee, and they had like this little petting farm. And I'm almost out. Y'all I am almost out. No, I squoze that little bit out. I'm trying to make it last. Make it last forever and ever. I'll drop it in the thing because y'all know I'm gonna have to go and pick up some more. But I'm telling you, this right here, this is a monster of a lotion. Oh, thank you so much, Barbara. Hey, boo, for the 6.99. Love your reviews, Auntie, and you. Oh, love you too. And thank you for being a member for like over 100 years. Thank you so much. Thank you. So she's down there. They're having a great time. The boys are in the back of the car. They're enjoying it. They're interacting with the animals. It's nothing like taking your little kids to the zoo and a camel comes over. She's got, a look like an one of those big birds. I guess you call them ostrich. I don't know what kind of bird it was, bitch. It was one of them big bitches, and it was packing in, into the little corn or the meal or whatever she had. They just having a great time, and here comes this daggone camel. So they feeding one of the camels, the camel eating and everything, and the next thing you know, the next camel that goes up there, honey, reaches his nasty stink ass camel mouth and bites her on the arm. And not only bites her, but pulls a plug out of her motherfucking arm. Bitch, that camel had an attitude, some kind of fears, to reach his big, nasty, big camel toe teeth ass and bite somebody on the arm. Now, I don't know what they did with that camel. I know what I would have told them to do with that mom. But Amy is screaming. He's like, oh my God, stop the bleeding, bitch. Honey, I'm telling you right now, my stomach was like, she's trying to remain calm for the boys who's been having a great time. A great time. This was no fault of Amy's. The boyfriend rides to the people, tries to drive around, he's speedballing through the damn camp. I'm probably shocking all of the other camp parents. They find help. They take her ass down to Tennessee, and she done called the family and sent pictures. Honey, coincidentally, the motherfucking bite was on that ugly ass tattoo that the two of them had. I said, Amy, if this ain't a sign that this is not a doable relationship, this is a sign to say this ain't a doable relationship and get the fuck up out of this relationship with this man. No matter how much and how good he look, get the out the relationship. So she didn't send pictures, honey, and the family getting the pictures. And they like, who in the fuck gets bit by a camel? How the girl, they like, wait a minute, let me check and see. Did you see this shit? And I can see myself doing it with myself. Did you see this bullshit? Now, how the fuck you go to a petting zoo? You don't get out, but you get bit by, the family is kikiing and con at Amy's expense. Amy's down in Tennessee. Next thing you know, honey, we see Amanda's ass in the damn car driving down to Tennessee because she got to go and pick Amy's kids up. Bitch, when I tell you they was hollering and having a good kiki and caca, after she gets her stitches and herself sewed up, the next thing you know, they coming up in there reading her Miranda rights. She like, what the is going on? I'm sure she's thinking they locking her up at the time, locking her up because she caused the ruckus down to the farm. But come to find out, he had marijuana in the car. A little 420. But she down there in Tennessee And every state rules are different. And now she is getting her Miranda rights read to her. So basically, rude ass Amanda probably is the one that kept her children from being in child protective service. So even though Amanda is dead wrong up in her house, Amy needs her now. Because the dude that she was willing to move in with, who, as I said, was doing everything for her and her kids to improve on her life, is the same month that could have had her kids snatched from her and sitting in child protection service. I don't know if Amanda got down there before, how the transaction was, but I'm hoping she got down there before CPS showed up. Because the same thing, honey, that'll make her laugh is now making her cry because he had drugs in the car. When will mothers learn that you can't be transporting that crap back and forth? Why you have it in the car? And then Amy hung up because this is the man she's thinking she gonna spend her life with in his big old house with his big old clean yard and his swimming pool. The stupidity of Amy not to make sure that if he had something, he wasn't taking it from Kentucky to Tennessee. That he was not violating some kind of law about crossing state lines with some weed. While he was good to her kids, she should have created barriers. Chris had already told her to slow down. You don't know this mother. But did she care? Mm-mm. 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 Where you been? Southern Belle Charm, hey boo, welcome. She said, hold up, I thought Amy had a husband. Amy ain't had a husband in at least 2 seasons. Southern Belle, where you been? They ain't been together 2 seasons. Amy ain't been with that man. She divorced Michael. Let me pull her up. Let me see. When did Amy divorce Michael? Because we're going to have to help our friend. September 6th of 2023, boo. We got to help our friend down in the chat. Welcome, sweetie pie. Welcome. Okay, Tamika said Amy been for the streets. Yes, indeed. September 6th of 2003. She been left that man. Or rather, he left her. We don't know which one is true, but we saw all of the books going on. Okay. Girl, you got 2 seasons you need to catch up. You need to make sure that you hit my playlist for 1,000 Pound Sisters and you go get on to watch them old videos, okay? Bluebell. He should have never crossed the line with it. But you know what? In all the hype, he probably didn't even realize. Because at that point, it was too late. It was too late for him to hide anything. And according to the police reports, they smelled it. Let me see. They smelled that. Okay, they smelled it. They smelled it. Yeah, they smelled that. Hold on, let me find it. So, according to People magazine, in an article dated December 20th of 2024, man, that was the child endangerment charges. Hold on, let me find the one. They said the police discovered what they believed to be mushrooms and what they believed to be marijuana inside of the vehicle. They said that the officers smelled the marijuana coming from the car. They saw drugs out in plain sight and searched the vehicle. Okay, Megan said, and the Camel smelled it too. Okay. They smelled it. So they couldn't even have ditched it. To my sweetie pie that said at least they should have ditched it. They couldn't even ditch it because they had already smelled it and they said this shit was out in the open. So what may be legal in Kentucky and acceptable was not in Tennessee. So anyway, this is something that we reported on at least a year ago. And now we're seeing the filming of it. And honey, I am here for every moment of the foo la la. Anyway, y'all, that is the end of my review of 1,000 Pound Sisters, season 7, episode 2 and 3. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment sections what you thought about these 2 episodes. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Love y'all and thank you so much for being here. Bye.